A lot has happened in the last 20 years when it comes to a WordPress web design, and I want to share with you those developments that I have seen in the last 2 decades in this video. Okay, so here are the generalities. WordPress started about 20 years ago. It was a pretty small back then in terms of website development platform, and nowadays WordPress is pretty popular. As a matter of fact, WordPress has actually is actually powering less than I think 20%, 15 to 20% of all websites globally. I'm speaking about normal websites, but also blogs. Okay, so that's really powerful. I mean, and the cool thing about WordPress is that it's actually very easy to learn. You don't have to have coding knowledge. You can actually do things yourself. So that's kind of cool. Okay. So in the last 20 years, what has really changed here is that you have a lot of players, a lot of platforms, a lot of plugins, a lot of functionalities that have added to WordPress sophistication. Nowadays, you can actually have a WordPress website that's very sophisticated. I mean, people will be thinking, hey, listen, this website's I actually just, it's a WordPress website, but you'll think, oh, wow, this is a website that has CSS or HTML or even more, some kind of a website that's kind of similar to a Webflow web page. Webflow, if you know, Webflow is it's for advanced web designers, whereas WordPress is more for, I mean, all of us. I mean, you don't have to be an advanced developer, an advanced web designer, an advanced webmaster to use to actually create a WordPress website. So here are the best practices I want you to pay attention to. One thing I've seen in the last 20 years is that it's always good to choose WordPress as your website platform. Okay. Basically, there are many platforms you can use to build a website, but in the last 20 years, WordPress has really gained prominence when it comes to being a top CMS, a top content management system. Okay. The cool thing about WordPress is that in the last 20 years, it has remained free. It has remained open source. Okay, so that's kind of cool. It has remained the ultimate DIY solution for non-pros. That's kind of cool. You have a very active user community. WordPress has become more and more and more versatile. In other words, it's able to run any type of website. You can run any type of website through WordPress. And in terms of speed, WordPress has gained a lot of speed in the last 20 years. It has become faster, it has become more secure, and it has become more optimized, like nowadays versus 20 years ago. One thing I have seen in the last 20 years is that the WordPress platform has been able to work a lot with third-party players. Okay, back then, if you were to go through WordPress.org, you were on your own. Nowadays, you have a lot of players that are really helping you actually along the way in terms of picking a name for your website, buying a domain, but also doing hosting. Okay, so that's kind of important. So one thing you have to understand here is that if you are going through WordPress as a website creation platform, you also need to understand that as a domain name will help you big time. 20 years ago, the domain name wasn't important. But nowadays, if you want to exist online, if you want to really, let's say, appear very competitive, branding is key. And the naming of your site, then the domain name plays an important role when it comes to competitive prominence. Make sure that your domain name is brandable, easy to remember, short, simple to spell, and relevant to your niche. And the cool thing about WordPress in the last 20 years is that a lot of domain registrars, for instance, are going to help you big time. Okay, so you are able to buy your domain name and hosting. You are able to get things done within 24 hours. I mean, back then it used to take an entire week or even 2 weeks to get things set up. Nowadays, there are so many players on the market. You are able to actually get things done within a day. Actually, within minutes. Actually, you buy your domain name, you register it, you host it. All this can actually be can happen within a couple of clicks. So that's really fantastic. Okay, and hosting a WordPress website has become very, very, very easy. One thing you need to understand is that There are actually tens, if not hundreds, of different companies that can register a new domain name for you. Then there are also tons of companies that can sell you a hosting package. Okay. But the thing is, you do not want to complicate things because when it comes to WordPress, you want things to be done in a streamlined manner, especially if you are considering WordPress for your B2C or B2B website. In other words, you are having a commercial purpose for your website. What I've seen in the last 20 years when it comes to WordPress web design is that you are able to actually, nowadays, you're able to install WordPress on your local computer or even on the cloud, and you are able to get familiar with the interface. Back then, only a few programmers or people who were what I call the WordPress aficionados were really into really going through the granularity of the platform. Nowadays, anybody, including you, including me, anybody can actually install WordPress and get familiar with the interface. So that's kind of cool. In other words, WordPress has gotten more and more democratic. So that's kind of cool. Okay. So you are able to get things done a lot faster. So let me give you an example. If you take actually a host such as Bluehost, Bluehost can actually help you add a WordPress site. So you can install WordPress, okay, through Bluehost. You can do the same through DreamHost or GoDaddy or whatever. I mean, there's a lot of players that are really helping you get things done faster, okay? And 20 years ago, Bluehost wasn't really doing that. Now they're doing it, and so are the others. So that really helps you big time because it really has made the whole process easier for all kind of players. Don't forget to set your website title and tagline. This has become very important in differentiating websites online nowadays. That's important from a flexibility point of view to really pay attention to that part of to that thing, okay? And you want to make your site public, and you also want to set your time zone. Always make sure that you set your time zone. Otherwise, you can't really have the right possibility, okay? That's an important element to think about. And what I want you to also think about here is that if you are installing WordPress nowadays, you have a lot of functionalities. Please don't forget basically to allow or disable or disable. You want to allow or disable comments, especially if you are having a blog component to your site. You can also disable pingbacks and trackbacks. Basically, if you do not want your WordPress site to communicate with other sites, do so. And that's actually a very important development that has happened in the last 20 years. 20 years ago, it wasn't really that easy. Even 10 years ago, it wasn't that easy to disable pingbacks and trackbacks. Nowadays, it's totally possible. So basically, in the last 20 or 15 years or so, what has become very easy in WordPress is that you are able to pick a theme and design your website. Nowadays, there are literally tens, if not hundreds, of themes, of WordPress themes to actually choose from, and that's good because it shows you that WordPress has become so popular that you have a lot of players actually coming into the marketplace. That's kind of cool because it adds an extra layer of creativity. It adds an extra layer of talent, of creativity also. So that's kind of cool. Creativity, flexibility, and talent. Okay. So if you want to really have a WordPress website, don't forget to pick a theme that you like. Okay. The official WordPress.org directory alone offers 13 to 15,000 themes. Okay. Beyond that, you will find even more on third party sites and premium theme marketplaces like Theme Forests or even on Theme Isle. So that's kind of cool. So you want to pick a theme that you like. You also want to install your theme. So if you want to install a free theme, you just need to go to Appearance Themes from your WordPress dashboard and click on Add New Theme. This part of the dashboard wasn't really clear cut 20 years ago or even 15 years ago. Okay. So you nowadays you are really you can get things done in a very easy manner. So you want to add your theme, okay? You also want to really understand that you want to install and activate actually when the theme listing shows up. That's really important to think about, okay? And so as you can see on the screen here, this is a very nice theme I'm showing you on the screen, a marketing agency theme. Don't forget to click continue because you need to customize the theme. So you want to customize the theme. So basically, you want to really maybe the colors don't fit your brain, or maybe you just want to change a few things here and there. You're able, for instance, to modify the header. Okay, I'm showing you right now. You can modify the header. You can change the logo. That's something that's totally possible. So you can see on the screen here, 1, change logo. Number 2, you put the logo and site identity. So that's kind of cool, okay? And the third screenshot, you also have the possibility to click on any elements that you want to have, like the online store, the personal blog, or the portfolio. So you have the possibility to get things done a lot faster there as well. The next screenshot, you can change patterns, okay? You can drag and drop patterns into the canvas, so that's kind of important. So again, a lot of flexibility at your fingertips. So that's really fantastic. In the last 20 years, what I've seen here is that I think I've said this before, but I want to insist on that. You have seen a resurgence, an abundance of plugins. 20 years ago or 15 years ago, WordPress didn't have that many plugins. Nowadays, you literally have thousands of plugins, okay? So you want to install plugins to enhance functionality of your website, of your WordPress website today. And because the thing is that if you look at plugins, you are looking at platforms, you're looking at tools that enhance your WordPress website. And you cannot have nowadays, you cannot have a WordPress website without plugins. No. I mean, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, maybe even 15 years ago, you could say, you know what, I don't need plugins. But nowadays, you need plugins, at least 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, okay? So plugins are to your WordPress site what apps are to your iPhone or Android phone. In other words, they extend the standard functionality of your site by adding some much needed features. Essentially, as you're figuring out how to make a website on your own, plugins are how you can get some great features without knowing any coding, okay? Let me give you a few plugins to kind of help you. And the cool thing is, all those plugins I'm sharing with you in today's conversation, at least in this section, they are free. So you have Yoast SEO, which helps you make search engine optimization tweaks and make your site more accessible to the search engines in general. You have Monster Insights, which really integrates your website with Google Analytics, the most popular traffic analysis solution on the web. You have Updraft Plus, which does automatic backups of your website. You have Optimal, which optimizes your images on autopilot. You have WP Forms, which lets you add interactive content forms to your website, which your visitors can use to reach you directly. And you have Outer Blocks, which expands on the native set of features and abilities of the WordPress editor. So that's important to think about. Also, you want to create basic pages. So WordPress has made it a lot easier, a lot more easily to create basic pages in the last 20 years, okay? So what you want to do here is that you just want to simply go to your WordPress dashboard and click on the plus sign that actually stands for adding new page, okay? This is basically the interface you use. You actually are using the same interface when editing your homepage. And here you can set the title of your page, add content, add any blogs that you wish, headings, images, videos, links. You can change colors or size of elements, and when you're done, you could just click publish. Okay, very very easy, very straightforward, nothing really complicated here. And so when it comes to all the different sections, again, you are able to get things done faster. Here I'm speaking about the about page, the contact page, the privacy policy, the portfolio page, the FAQs, by the way. In the last 10 to 15 years, what WordPress has been really known for is blogging. So you can consider starting a blog if you are thinking about having a WordPress website. I mean, when WordPress started 20 years ago, they weren't really paying attention to that part of the equation. Companies were just thinking about using WordPress for let's say a basic website composition or basic website building. But nowadays, you can consider WordPress a powerful CMS for your blog. Okay, so blogging and content marketing in general is actually one of the most effective ways to grow your website and promote any products or services you offer. And it's not just a theory. 55 to 60% of marketers say blogging is their top inbound marketing priority. So running a blog is simple in principle. You just publish articles related to your website's topic on a regular basis. Over time, this helps attract visitors, build trust, and boost your online presence. So from a technical standpoint, WordPress makes blogging very easy. And in fact, WordPress originally started as a blogging platform, so all the necessary tools are built right in. So to create a new blog post, just go to Post, Add New in your WordPress dashboard. Very, very straightforward. Nothing really complicated here, okay? And so pretty straightforward. And the post editor looks and works much like the page editor. The main difference is that blog posts can be categorized and tagged, making it easier for visitors to find related content. Okay. Once you are done working on a blog post, just click on publish, just like with pages. And finally, you want to adjust your site navigation. So this is an area that has been that's been enhanced in the last 20 years, the site navigation. So with all your key pages online and perhaps your blog started as well, you are able to adjust your site's navigation and make it overall easier to actually consume for the visitors. And to do this, visit the customizer again by going to Appearance, Customize on your dashboard. From there, go into Menu. You will see a list of all the menus on your site and click on the page that's labeled Primary Menu. So you are able to customize things at that point of view. Okay. So overall, one thing I want to say here is that when you think about WordPress, think about a free and open source content management system that allows you to create and manage websites very easily. It's actually it has been one of the most popular platforms for website creation in the last 20 years, supporting everything from personal blogs to full-fledged business sites. So that's really fantastic. And WordPress has become easier and easier to install. So most web hosting providers offer a one-click WordPress installation on their dashboard. Okay, so you are able to get things done fast. You don't have to really think about just going on a third-party website to download WordPress itself. So, in conclusion to this conversation, I'll share with you what I've learned in the last 20 years of WordPress web design. I'll give you the generalities, the best practices, but now the conclusion. Thank you so much. God bless you. I will see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.